I drank too much with my boss on New Year's Eve, and when I got home my husband had emptied both Tom and Claire's houses. Tom and Claire were the kind of couple that people envied. They were high school sweethearts. They seemed to have talked about everything, from future dreams to favorite late-night snacks. Tom was steady and reliable, loyal to a fault, while Claire was passionate and ambitious. They supported each other through college, their first jobs, and every tough moment in between. They built a home full of love and laughter, but as Claire's career in corporate sales took off, the foundations of their marriage began to show subtle, almost imperceptible cracks. Tom works in finance, a stable and predictable profession that allows him to come home every night before dinner. Claire, on the other hand, had landed a well-paid position at a fast-growing technology company. This job meant long hours, frequent business trips, and a hectic schedule. Tom always supported her and encouraged her to pursue her dreams, even if it meant missing dinner and staying up late. At night, he told himself that he didn't mind, that he wanted her to succeed. After all, on a Friday evening, Claire came home unusually late, with the smell of alcohol still lingering on her clothes. She stumbled into the house laughing, her face flushed. Tom was sitting in the living room reading a book when she walked in, and he looked up as she came in, asking, "Are you okay?" She put the book down, grinned, and ignored his concern. "We just had a team bonding session," she said, "and it was a lot more fun than we expected." She waved dismissively and kissed him on the cheek, but Tom still felt a twinge of unease. Claire had always been a frank person, but recently she had become more cautious, and her answers were shorter and more vague than before. Over the next few weeks, her absences became more frequent, and after-work dinners, meetings, and team-building weekends became the norm. Tom was worried but convinced himself that he was being paranoid. Her career was going from strength to strength, and he wanted to support her, but one voice inside him whispered that this was not the case, while another told him that it was. New Year's Eve was approaching, and Tom had planned a quiet evening for the two of them, to be celebrated with champagne and a countdown to the new year, looking back on the good times they had shared together over the year. But on the morning of 31 December, Claire told him that she had been invited to a big office party at her boss Mark's mansion. "Tom, this is a great networking opportunity," she explained excitedly, "and everyone in the office will be there. It's a big deal, you understand?" Tom's stomach cringed. He had met Mark a few times. He was a shrewd and confident man who attracted attention wherever he went. Tom knew he was highly valued in the company, but he couldn't get rid of the feeling that Mark was interested in Claire beyond the scope of a professional mentor. At the company event, he noticed that Mark's gaze lingered a little longer than usual on her, but he dismissed it. Of course, he trusted CLA wholeheartedly. Understanding Tom replied that he forced a smile and offered to join her, but Claire declined, insisting that the evening was for employees only. At midnight, Tom sat alone, laughter and celebratory sounds drifting from the nearby house. He tried to call Claire, but she didn't answer. At midnight, at 2 in the morning, she is still nowhere to be seen. His phone rings. Claire has sent a text message. He is just about to leave, having drunk too much champagne, but Mark is driving me home. Goodbye, love. Tom's heart beats faster. Mark drove her home in the early hours of New Year's Day. Something in the text message makes him feel uncomfortable. He tries to forget it while waiting, but doubts swirl around his head like a storm. When Claire finally arrives, she is obviously. His unease cannot be denied now. Over the next few weeks, Tom's suspicions grew stronger. Claire's behavior had changed. Her attention was replaced by distracted conversations and late-night text messages on her phone. One evening, as she was in the shower, her phone rang and a notification lit up on the screen. Tom glanced at it and saw Mark's name. He felt sick as he picked up her phone to unlock it. He hesitated, consumed by a sense of guilt, but he needed to know. As he scanned through the messages, his worst fears were confirmed. Mark had been sending her flirtatious text messages for weeks, and it was clear from her replies that she had encouraged the behavior. "Last night was amazing. Let's do it again soon." Tom felt his heart break. The messages were full of inside jokes, late-night gatherings, and even the occasional missive in which she missed him. He couldn't believe the woman he loved and trusted was fooling around with her boss. As we delve deeper into this story, I hope you will join our family of storytellers. If you are already hooked, why not take a moment to click the subscribe button? Each new story takes you to the front row of an unforgettable journey, and these stories may resonate with you. Let's continue and see how this story unfolds. When he put down the phone, he felt a cold determination sweep over him. Clay had made her choice, and now it was time for him to make his. He knew he couldn't face her directly, and he wanted her to feel the same betrayal and the same devastation that he felt, so he cared. He carefully planned a plan to make her regret every moment of cheating in the next few days. Tom gathered what he needed, opened a separate bank account, and carefully transferred the funds from their joint savings to his private account. He began to move his personal belongings out of the house, taking only what he really needed, and the rest was put in storage. He wanted it to look like he had vanished overnight, leaving her to return home to an empty, desolate house. Tom had planned every detail meticulously. He printed out screenshots of her text messages with Mark, and placed them in an envelope on the kitchen counter along with his wedding ring and a note that read, "I know everything. Goodbye." The night before he planned to leave, he packed a suitcase, making sure to leave no trace. He took the photos they had taken together, their wedding photos, and even the memories of their shared holidays. He wanted the house to be as empty as his heart. Finally, New Year's Eve arrived. It was the night she was going to Mark's party. A year later, Tom knew that CLA would have another late-night work event. As soon as she left, he made the final preparations, locked the door for the last time, and look. With a sense of loss and cruel satisfaction, he left. CLA returned around midnight. She thought Tom was asleep, but when she walked into the house, she was greeted by a dead silence. The house was cold and desolate. Without Tom's warmth, she felt a chill. She looked around, her heart racing. Confusion turned to fear. She noticed the missing photos, the empty bookshelves, the echoes of life gone. Then she saw the envelope on the cupboard. Trembling, she picked it up and read the message inside. Her heart sank as she saw the screenshots inside. Tears blurred her vision as she saw the evidence of betrayal. Each message was a stark reminder of what she had done. She called him again and again, each time going straight to voicemail. Despair was her constant companion, and she left messages again and again, begging him to forgive her and talk to her. But Tom had cut off all contact, leaving her with nothing but bitter remorse. As the days passed, Claire's life gradually fell apart. Her relationship with Mark quickly disintegrated after Tom left. Mark had enjoyed the passion, but the relationship had ended with the collapse of her personal life. Claire felt the weight of her choices suffocating her, the loneliness unbearable, while Tom started again, moving to a new city, finding a new job, rebuilding his life in his own way. Friends and family rallied around him, supporting him as he gradually recovered. From time to time, he heard from mutual friends that Claire was struggling, that she had lost more than she bargained for. But Tom felt nothing but relief, for he knew he had escaped a marriage built on lies. A few months later, Claire makes one last attempt to apologize and find some kind of relief. In a letter full of apologies and regrets, she pours her heart out and asks to meet Tom. After reading it, Tom is calm and determined. He has moved on, rebuilt his life, and regained his inner peace. In his final response, he leaves just one sentence: "I loved you once, but I love myself more, so I chose to leave." Sometimes leaving is the only thing that is just. Thank you for walking with me on this complicated journey of relationships. Your support has not only helped us grow, but also enabled us to continue to bring you great stories of betrayal, revenge, and resilience. Share this story with someone who might need it, and remember to like this video. If you like it, let's continue to explore the powerful narratives that bind us together.